already I can tell that the camera quality is much better. Like, it is much better on the phone compared to the computer. It's nice to be able to do both of them, because now I can make direct comparisons. The camera on my phone is much closer to me physically, but then it still has a farther out zoom because the laptop camera focuses on my face. Yo, Kirby, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Yo, Scavenger, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Don't forget to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it. And I'll continue right where I left off in part 1. Even though part 1 will have all of this in it because I didn't stop like streaming part 1. It's really interesting. Oh, Kirby said, you kind of still have blue in your mouth. Really? Oh, I see it. Yeah, it's like next to the tongue. Maybe that's just always a thing. I've never noticed it until now. Maybe I just have a blue mouth. Hashtag blue mouth in the live chat. Anyways, so I hung out with Serena, Kaylee, Daryl, which was Kaylee's friend, and my old girlfriend Gabby, and we all hung out. Oh, yo, Vegeta, welcome to the stream. Good to have you. Don't forget to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it. Scavenger asked, are you just fully cripping? Fully cripping? You mean to the level of which your mouth is blue? That just sounds like a child with candy. That just sounds like an Ed and Eddie character. Like, that's not cripping. Kirby said, your shirt is so good, it is breaking the camera. I actually do think it has something to do with the light of the shirt reflecting off of the light from my screen. Scavenger said ultra cripping. Is ultra cripping like the new Ultra Instinct? Is it the Ultra Instinct of the hood? Vegeta said, looking sexy with that shirt. I'm getting a lot of compliments on the shirt. I mean, hey, we all love Dragon Ball here. It's all about that Dragon Ball life. Don't forget to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it. Vegeta said, teeth looking white. Oh, thank you kindly. My dentist always brags about my teeth. Scavenger says, super gangster cripping. Maybe I'll make an RPG where it's like a gang-based thing, but silly, similar to like Saints Row, and make it a combination of like thug life and like anime, and like see where that goes. That could probably be pretty crazy. Speaking of RPG books, 2 new RPG books by me are now published and available on Amazon, so you can check those out. One is called OC Fighter RPG, and in that one, you and a friend create your own original character, and you have them battle off against each other, using a variety of superpowers and move list. I imagine it as a combination of a RPG, like a role-playing game, like D&D, and a fighting game, because you have different move lists with different like attacks. Oh, Vegeta's getting a phone call. Well, don't worry, Vegeta. This will be like uploaded, so you'll be ready to watch it whenever you're available. Scavenger said, Super Gangster Cripping Level 2, Level 3, Cripping God. And I guess it would just be, oh, the next one is Super Gangster Cripping Super Gangster. Fucking. And then you already said Ultra Cripping. Yeah, so that's, I could make that game. That game could be a thing. Also, the second RPG book that I recently published is of the Jenko's one shot is built to be played with either 2 or 3 people, using psychic abilities in game, but in order to use them in game, you have to try to use them in real life. And it sounds dumb. There's a website that's called psychicscience.org or something like that. Type it into Google first in case I got that website extension wrong and you end up just on a weird site. But on the Psychic Science site, there's this thing called the Strangeness Detector, and you're supposed to try and like focus on the Strangeness Detector and cause like psychic anomalies to happen. So instead of using dice rolls, this game I'm currently working on will utilize different tools on that website, and in order to try and use abilities in the game, you have to try to use those abilities in real life. So I think that'll be interesting, and I'd like to see where that goes. But continuing on about Hamicon Minicon, I got the opportunity to play 2 games that were really cool. One is Super Fight. If you've never heard of Super Fight, it's like a combination of Story War and Cards Against Humanity. And I know Cards Against Humanity is pretty cancer. I personally despise Cards Against Humanity. I think it's a garbage game. But Story War is a good game. So combining Story War and Cards Against Humanity together, you actually get an okay game out of it. Now I know not everyone knows what Story War is, so the best way to explain Story War is you get a bunch of cards. They all have images of fantasy characters on them, whether or not they're like monsters or wizards or knights and shit like that, but they have no text on them. So the cards have no meaning other than their picture, and you essentially play a card and your opponent plays a card, and you debate who would win in a fight. That's all Story War is. And there's a way for you to get the game book online, like a PDF of it, for free. And you can print out the game book, and it has like all the cards on it, like all the images of the people on it. Story War is a really cool game. Super Fight takes elements of Cards Against Humanity, combines it with Story War, and takes away the pictures, so it's kind of like not Story War. But it's the same concept that you and your friends have characters and you debate who would win in a fight. But they have the whole black card, white card system, and you can have different combinations of characters with different abilities. Scavenger said, Cards Against Humanity is something that you don't play with your parents. You should, I think it would be cool to play at your parents. Even though Cards Against Humanity is just a game where you try to kiss each other's ass. Just saying. Kirby said, I've done it hybrid. So he's played Cards Against Humanity with his parents. It can't be that bad. Kirby did it. But Super Fight was cool. One notable moment from Super Fight that I really liked. Vegeta said he kisses his own ass. One thing that I really liked about Super Fight, there was one guy who got a card that was like a gorilla card, and then the other card was can turn into anything water-based, and he was just whooping people, because he'd be like, my gorilla turns into a tsunami gorilla. What do you do? How do you kill a tsunami? And like that was the meme. And then somebody got a card that was marksman, and their other card was like with a sniper rifle. And then we were like, well, essentially you're just water Harambe, and he ended up losing. Like, it was really dumb, but I enjoyed it. I'm sorry that your leg fell asleep, Vegeta. Scavenger said that he sucks his own dick, and then he said, fuck females, he doesn't need them. Then Vegeta said, same Scavenger. I like the little banter. I enjoy it. The other game that I played at Hamicon Minicon that I really enjoyed was called Sentinels of the Multiverse. In that game, you and your friends take the role of different superheroes, and you all work together to fight against one or many supervillains. Long story short, Serena turned into one of the most powerful heroes in the game and just attacked all the other... like, she just attacked one guy over and over again. David hung out with us. Okay, so... there was also another guy, David, who was a friend of Serena's, and David was really cool. I'm sorry that David didn't get a shout out previously. But Serena just attacked David over and over again and killed him. And then we stopped playing Sentinels of the Multiverse. It was interesting. Sentinels of the Multiverse had it where you could use your powers and you could target, like, items or villains, and Serena would just constantly target David, who was just a fellow hero, and killed the shit out of him. We didn't understand how the game worked until we were already like partially playing it, and we realized that we were getting fucked over hard. So Scavenger said, what is this David's race? So this David is Serena's friend David, who's White David, but not the White David that's been on the stream. A completely new White David to add to the complex like state that is the David friendship in which David is who. Speaking of which, the only other thing that happened that night at Hamicon Minicon, Gabby got a bunch of stuff. She went to the dealer's room and just went ham, and she got me this Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and by got me, I mean she got one in one of her grab bags, and then she just said, why don't you have it? And then she just gave it to me. So thank you kindly, Gabby, for the Super Saiyan 3 Goku action figure. Shout out to Gabby. Vegeta said, it's a snow cracker. Damn, that sounds like super white. Scavenger said, New 52 White David. The reboot continuity White David. That'd be interesting. But nah, it's not like reboot David. It's just another David. Kirby said a new David to make the clusterfuck of Davids. We'll eventually have enough Davids for the David orgy. One day. The only other thing that happened at Hamicon Minicon is On that day, I happened to have consumed a large number of donuts. And while eating all those donuts, I was fine for most of the day. Like, normally, if I was to eat donuts only for a day, I would eat 12. I only ate 10. I got bored because I had a lot of the same donuts, and they weren't all jelly. Normally, I fuck with the jelly. Well, I just didn't have enough jelly. Scavenger said, we need a David Orgy fanfic. Trust, someone will write it. We know the Zarbon fanfics exist. So, the David Orgy fanfics, that's definitely... Someone's going to make that. There's also Scooter Boy, Jet Black, gay fanfiction. That was on Yik Yak once. Vegeta said, Jane, you farted and it smells like straight up poop. That sounds like a solid reference. Vegeta said it smells like a dead moose or something. Interesting. That's a very specific reference for a smell of poop. Oh no. He didn't mean to say Jane. He meant to ask, have you ever farted and it like smells like a dead moose? I've never gone that hardcore in the farts. I've never had a fart of that degree. Then Scavenger said, Mary Jane is bae. Man, that sounds a lot like how like a Reddit post would go. If someone like accidentally like types something in, and then the next person just rolls with the accident. But continuing on, at Hamicon Minicon, I was fine with having eaten like 10 donuts that day until the rave hit. And when the rave hit, I went ham. You know, I love to dance, so I was like fucking up on the dance floor, and it was really great. But each time I hit the dance floor, I felt a little bit worse. It had been a long time since I had gone all out and like done my breakdancing. Yo, Mr. Gers, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Don't forget to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it. Scavenger said, mosh pit. But I was dancing, right? And the first time I danced, I felt alright. And I danced until the DJ cut the music, due to the fact that they blew out like their equipment like very early on in the rave. It was actually a pretty shitty rave. Like, the lights blew out at one point, the music blew out at another point. There was a portion where there was no music, and during the time, they were just clapping their hands and singing All Star by fucking Smash Mouth. Like, it was just a group of people singing All Star. It was actually pretty cancer. Surprisingly, though, there were people there who could legitimately breakdance, and that was interesting. They watched me dance, and they were like, yo, what is that style? Is that shuffling? Is that, like, jump pop or something? Like, they named, like, a bunch of different styles, and I said, it's whatever, because I don't really have a style. Like, I do whatever feels right for the music, and I try to make sure there's variety, and I keep doing, like, stuff that's different. And I feel like that made them really hype, because they just didn't know what to expect whenever I hit the dance floor, right? Serena wanted to film me dancing. Whether or not she ever got the chance to, I'm not sure, because I started dancing in the back, which is what I normally do, is dance in the back of the rave, so you have plenty of room, you don't have to worry about hitting people. But then a dance circle formed, and the rest of the time when I danced, I would dance in the dance circle. I did well. I had fun. Gabby really enjoyed the dancing. David really enjoyed the dancing. Serena and Kaylee enjoyed the dancing. But after I finished, like, dancing the third time, I was just out of it. Like, I was done. Also, don't worry, Mr. Gers, I see you. I was just in the middle, like, this is a vlog video, so I wanted to, like, tell you guys what I've been up to. But Mr. Gers is like, yo, where is first name me, last name Grows, or first name Nick, last name Ayers? And then Scavenger was like, Mr. Gers is his father, to which Grows put up a question mark, like, why aren't I being acknowledged? Don't worry, there's your acknowledgement. Don't forget to smash the like button. I didn't have much to say. They're not currently here, but they're welcome if they, like, log in. I'm totally fine with that. I'm also on a timetable. I haven't mentioned that yet, but I only have, like, 25 more minutes to do the stream. So I'm going to try to catch you all up as quickly as possible, because a lot has happened since the last time that we did, like, a stream. Chapatos Chappy said, hello, yo, it's good to see you, Chapatos Chappy. It's been a minute. Welcome to the stream. Don't forget to smash that like button. I'm currently in the middle of talking about how my Hamicon Minicon was. Essentially ended up feeling sick to my stomach after dancing so much. Thank you for smashing that like button. Truly appreciate it. It was because I'd only eaten 10 donuts, and at the beginning of the rave there was no water set up, and normally they have like a table with just a bunch of water. Oh, thank you for smashing the like button, truly appreciate it. They had a table with a bunch of water, and you could get water cups, right? But at the start of the rave there was no water at all, so if you danced hard and you like really pushed yourself, you don't have any like refreshment to keep going. So like I sat down for a little bit in between each time I danced, and because I wasn't used to dancing as hard as I was, because it used to be like during the summer me and Maddie would go clubbing like every once in a while, but I just haven't in a long time, so I haven't danced at that level in a minute. So the lactic acid started building up on my legs, so my legs were burning, and my knees started to bend when I didn't want them to, which can be dangerous when you do a bunch of jumping around when you dance, or when you're doing like stuff where you're spinning around on the floor and stuff like that. And then I felt sick to my stomach. I went to the restroom for a while, and I just like sat down. I was hot because there was no water for a period. Like there was no way for me to like quench my thirst. So I got fucked over. By the time we left Hamacon, though, I was fine. It was really cold outside. It gave me a chance to like cool down. I ended up lying down like in the hallway for a little bit to try and cool off, and they eventually did have water, and I drank some water. But Hamacon Minicon, I really enjoyed my time when I was playing games with everyone. I really wish I could have had a chance to play some fighting games. They did have fighting games there, but I was hanging out with like the peeps, and the peeps weren't doing fighting games. They were doing Super Fight, and they were doing everything else. Let's see, Chipato Shappy asked, how you been? I've been doing well. That's what this whole video is about, is like, how have I been, what I've been up to, what new videos are coming up, etc., etc. Scavenger said, I just put my dick in the like button's pussy. Thank you kindly, Scavenger. Truly appreciate it. I enjoy the fact that you fucked up that like button. Let's see, Scavenger said, cap and crip. I don't know how you're, like, so on the crip jokes, but you are, and you're doing well. I did not expect cap and crip. That was some next level shit. Let's see. So Hamacon Minicon was great. The next thing, Sunday. So on Sunday, Aiden, Antoine, Ike by accident, because Ike didn't even know there was a movie going on. Gabby with 2 B's, Gabby with 1 B, and Black David. So it was White David and Black David. And Black David may or may not now have the nickname Audie instead of being called Black David, but it's not official yet, so we're still getting there. Scavenger said blue is my favorite color. Of course I have crip jokes. Let's see. Of course I have crip jokes. Let's see. Moving forward. We all watched Spider-Man. Yeah, Audi, like the car. We all watched Spider-Man Homecoming together. It was my second time watching it. Gabby with 2 B's had already seen some of it. And David, Black David, Audi had already seen the movie as well. So we didn't have too much to talk about in regards to the film, but we all had a pretty good time, and I enjoyed it. It was a little bit awkward, though. At a certain part of the night, we went over to Aiden's place, and when we hung out with Aiden, we were watching Big Mouth on Netflix, which Big Mouth is surprisingly better than I thought. Kirby said that's not how you pronounce Audi, but okay. You're right, it's Audi, not Audi. I don't know. For some reason, I keep calling it Audi, but you're right, it is Audi. So, we were hanging out and we were watching Big Mouth. And Big Mouth is actually, like, a better show than I thought it would be. Like, I'm probably going to watch it on Netflix now. Also, Aiden is a fantastic host. Top-notch. I have to point that out, not only because Aiden is such a great person, but also because we were originally hosted by Antoine in his room. And Antoine rooms with Ike now. So where Nighthawk was my roommate before, Nighthawk aka Ike, Antoine and Ike are now rooming together. And Antoine just suddenly goes for a walk and never comes back. So when Antoine went for a walk, he just kind of left Ike with us. And Ike didn't want to be a bad host, but he had other stuff to do. So we more or less ended up having to ask Aiden if it was okay if we could hang out with him, because we didn't want to impose on Ike. And Aiden was a fabulous host. Like, for him to not have expected to have additional people over, he did a really good job at, like, keeping us entertained and making sure that everyone was having a good time. Aiden's a great guy. I'm going to hang out with Aiden again on Thursday. Scavenger said, Audi should be pronounced like audio. See, that's how I'm pronouncing it. Instead of like Audi, I'm pronouncing it more like audio. Scavenger said, that bitch disappeared. He ghosted you. I mean, he pretty much did. And I love what he said, because he said, I'm going to go for a walk. And then he just did. Like, he vanished. And then the Fire Nation attacked, and nobody was ready. Antoine, the last ghostbender. Fucking straight vanished. Let's see. But we hung out with Aiden, and we watched Big Mouth on Netflix. And I go by Jet, but my name is Nick, which all of you already know. And the episode of Big Mouth that we happened to be watching involved one of the main characters, Nick, breaking up with this girl. And Gabby with two B's, who I broke up with, was there right next to me as, like, the breakup scene was going on in the cartoon. And in the cartoon breakup scene, the girl says, like, we should just be friends kind of thing. And the boy goes, like, to dinner with his family. And he tells his family that, like, him and his now ex-girlfriend are, like, just gonna be friends. And that Nick is just, like, Nick is like, no, she's still my girlfriend kind of thing. And it reminded me a lot of how Gabby took the breakup. Kirby said, I'm sorry to hear that, Nick. Which suddenly hit me. Holy shit, Kirby, you've missed so many streams. Okay, so to fill Kirby in real quick, because I don't have too much time. Me and Gabby broke up, like, last week. Yo, Vanessa Brooks, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. So me and Gabby broke up, like, last week. I broke up with her because I felt like we skipped the friendship step, and I couldn't imagine spending the rest of my life with someone who I didn't consider my best friend. Also, don't forget to smash that like button, truly appreciate it. But Gabby denied the breakup. She essentially said, to you, we may just be friends, but to me, you're still my boyfriend, which was an interesting answer. I've never heard that before. But essentially, in Big Mouth, also thank you for smashing that like button, truly appreciate it. Essentially in Big Mouth, the same thing happens with the Nick character in Big Mouth. Where that character says, oh, you know, we may be friends, but she's still my girlfriend kind of thing. And then his family proceeds to just make fun of him, right? And I felt kind of weird, because, like, the character Nick in the show followed what Gabby is, like, doing in real life. And we didn't talk about it. Like, we didn't talk about it at all. But that's all I could think about was, like, dang, like, this is a lot like what's going on, like, right now, just in my life. And it's weird for me to be seeing this while Gabby's right next to me. Because in my mind, I was like, I hope Gabby doesn't feel bad. Because they're essentially making fun of the character in the show for doing what Gabby is, like, actively doing right now. Let's see, Scavenger said, hey, Brooks. Vanessa Brooks said, hi. Scavenger said, she pulled out that get out of a breakup free card like it's Monopoly. Kirby said, she just copied what we did. What the fuck? Kirby said, she just copied what we did. What you did? What did you do? I'm actually really curious what you mean by that. But I found it really interesting that there was a cartoon that seemed to address what was going on in our life. Kirby said, we referring to you and Gabby. Yeah, like, the cartoon was the same scenario, but the roles were reversed, where it was happening to the guy instead of it happening to the girl. And the guy's name happened to be the same as my name. So it felt really surreal. Like, it was just a really weird moment. But we had a good time, and we all hung out at Aiden's. Aiden made us hot chocolate, but he gave it to us in, like, doubled red Solo cups, so the cups were unbearably hot. Like, glass mugs are needed. But he only had, like, one mug, so I could see where, like, you know, how do you serve a whole room hot chocolate, but you only have red Solo cups? I appreciated it, and the hot chocolate was good. I'd never seen that before. I was really surprised. in the future, if I get like a mug, I'll bring my own mug. I'll be ready next time. Scavenger said Big Mouth is dope. I should watch Big Mouth. I actually haven't watched any more Big Mouth since I hung out with Aiden and them. Scavenger said his favorite character is the Hormone Monster, which is a very interesting aspect of Big Mouth. Big Mouth is a show more or less about puberty and coming of age, but it's a comedy and has Nick Kroll and a few other comedians. I feel like it's pretty cool. From what I've seen, I've enjoyed it. But continuing on with like what I've been up to and everything. So Monday, we finally made it into this week now with the vlog and like what I've been up to. So on Monday, there was this Thanksgiving dinner thing, and you go to the caf at night, and they're serving Thanksgiving food, but I'd already eaten, so I just used it as like an all-you-can-drink milkshake thing, and the idea was that all proceeds go to charity, which is why like I went, CJ went, Aiden went, Matt went. You know, we got like a whole bunch of squad together. I got to see Will, who I hadn't seen in a minute, Jonathan, Jared. So we all gathered together, and we kind of just had like a Thanksgiving meal thing, and we all talked. So I had realized that I didn't tell Will and Jonathan that I had broken up with Gabby. So we went over the whole like, yeah, me and Gabby broke up thing, and and everyone kind of like told me how they really felt about Gabby, which was really interesting, because they essentially were like, well, now that you're broken up and she's not here, like, here's what I always kind of thought about Gabby, but I never really wanted to say. And that was really interesting to hear everyone's opinion on, like, Gabby and how they felt about her. I also talked about how I didn't have a lot of prospects. Like, I don't have, like, girls lined up to be like, I'm pursuing this girl now that I'm no longer dating Gabby kind of thing. We talked about that. Bo was there, and Bo is a member of Writer's Block. I hung out with Bo earlier that day, and we talked about our writings and shows that we recommend to each other, and Bo's really cool. I'm going to hang out with Bo and Allison tomorrow. But Bo mentioned that even though Allison is a lesbian, that she may actually be bi, and that I might have a chance with Allison. But everyone agreed, whatever you do, don't just straight up ask out Allison. So today, flashing to today, real quick, I asked out Allison, and she was like, nah, I'm cool with hanging out, but I don't want to like lead you on in any way. So Allison, Bo, and I are going to be hanging out tomorrow. Flashing back to Monday, though. For Monday, after the Thanksgiving dinner thing, I ended up hanging out with Jared, and we binge watched Winx Club. So we were already on season 3, but now we're like in the thickness of season 3. And then Jared and I talked a bunch about like magic and like my religious beliefs and stuff like that. And we actually had like a pretty solid debate. Scavenger said, gotta get down on Friday. And then he said, thickness with 2 C's. So me and Jared hung out. And I kept telling Jared, like, nah, I need to go to bed, but we ended up hanging out, like, a little bit later than I wanted to, so I woke up a little bit later today. Kirby said, I'm going to see if I can watch Dragon Ball Super episode 115. Try GoGo Anime. It's an illegal website, but it's a way to watch it. Vanessa Brooks said, Winx Club, the Fairy Girls? Yeah! Okay, Jared and I, Jared aka Vofatura, we watch Winx Club and we make fun of it. There are a lot of jokes. The other night when we were watching it, there's a part where Stella is turned into a frog creature and she almost dies. But she's saved at the last minute, and when she's rescued, she more or less says, like, I almost wish you hadn't saved me. And we were like, I almost wish the suffering could have ended. Like, it was a weird suicide joke mixed into Winx Club. It was pretty funny. Kirby said, I use Daisuke, which may be a legal way since it's a Japanese website. I believe that Daisuke is supposed to be like a legal method, so that's fair. Like, that's cool. If you ever decide to watch it illegally, GoGo Anime is an option. I'm not endorsing watching it illegally, but if you have no other option, you of course can still support the official release by buying merchandise and doing different things like that. Merchandise. Let's see, still looking at the live chat. Vanessa Brooks said, "Lol, I love that scene." See? Winx Club. That's what I'm talking about. Winx Club brings people together. Let's see. But talking more on my day, because now I only have 9 minutes before I need to get off, because me and my roommate need to switch places for the night so we can both go to sleep. But yeah, did we catch up? Did we catch up with today? Me and Jared talked a bunch. Oh, Jared likes to make fun of the fact that I do magic and stuff like that. But after having, like, a solid discussion about magic and my religious beliefs, Jared's, like, actually compared to a lot of other religions, he actually thinks that, like, my magic stuff is fine. And where he would normally make fun of me, he really enjoyed, like, the intellectual discussion and getting to really understand it, in a different way. Not Magic the Gathering. Jared loves Magic the Gathering. Magic with a K, like my spell casting stuff. You know, I cast magic spells for money. It's one of the main things I do. Kirby said the site was supposed to be taken down, but I guess they are continuing Dragon Ball Super for some reason. The site was supposed to be taken down. Daisuke? I'm surprised. Verve, I think, is another way to watch Dragon Ball Super. And then there's, Funimation. Oh, and like Crunchyroll and shit like that. Though I heard Crunchyroll got hacked recently. Let's see. Not Magic with only a K from the X-Men. Magick. Both things. Let's see. And then Scavenger said, Magic for money. Vanessa Brooks said, do you like Icy, Darcy, or Stormy? Like, if I had to pick, like, one out of the three, do I like the characters, like their personalities, or is it, like, which would I smash? Because if we did, like, Smash, Marry, Kill for, Icy, Darcy, and Stormy, or whatever. Let's see, Smash, Marry, Kill. Kill Icy immediately. And then Smash Stormy, and then, marry Darcy. Who would I date? I would date Darcy. I think Darcy is alright. Out of the witches. None of them are, like, high tier, but it's alright. Kirby said, just kill the bitch, just fuck her up. Vanessa Brooks put in a smiley face. Scavenger said, what the duck has this become? Dude, your autocorrect is really fucking your statements. Vanessa Brooks said, do you watch Huntic? Huntic, you believe that you survive. Huntic is great. It's made by the same people who make Winx Club. But I haven't watched nearly as much Huntic as I've watched Winx Club. I used to watch Huntic back in middle school, though. I was in a computer class, and I would watch Huntic, like, on the computer during class. I also used to watch Japanese Spider-Man at that time. It's on Netflix. Kirby said, in response to how you said, just kill Icy. I was so ready to kill Icy. Icy's first on my shit list. Scavenger said, what the fuck has this become? I'd say, my waifu, like, my Winx Club waifu is Tekna. You know, I'm into cybersecurity and, like, the technology aspect of everything. But Tekna's, like, the nerdy character. Jared's Winx Club waifu is Flora, who is, like, the fairy that's over nature. And he even roleplays as Flora in D&D. It's the hardest meme. It's meme to the max. I'm actually thinking about making a Winx Club inspired RPG. I shit you not. But what am I currently up to? We finally caught up to the modern day, now that we're in, like, the last, like, 5 minutes of the stream before I have to get off. Scavenger said, isn't Winx Club just a weak version of Friendship is Magic? Get that shit out of here. Winx Club is not My Little Pony. Winx is, like, I used to compare it to Witch, but it's not as good as Witch. Like, Witch is actually a different show. It's actually a really different concept. I always used to think it was watered down Witch. Winx is its own thing, and it actually has, like, a solid mythology to it. Like, Winx, when they do, like, the throwbacks to, like, the beginning of the universe, I actually enjoy when they cover, like, their information. Vanessa Brooks said, I love Witch from JetX. I also love Witch. Vanessa Brooks, I didn't know that we watched so many of the same shows. This is great. Kirby said, kill off My Little Pony. The only good thing that came out of My Little Pony are the creepypastas. Vanessa Brooks said, Puka. Puka loves Garu. I enjoyed Puka. Puka was cool as well. Vanessa Brooks, I see you also watched the JetX. I now have only like 4 more minutes, so let me cover like what I have to work on now. So I have 7,500 words that I still need to write for that superhero novel. That novel is going to be due in like 8 days, so I need to like crank out those words as quickly as possible. I haven't even started on the second half of this novel. $75 on the line. Gotta get this done. This is for like a guy's son for Christmas. Like, I gotta finish this book. I gotta do it. So I'm gonna be working on that. I'm probably gonna publish the book once I'm done, which will be cool. So that'll be cool. I'm working on RPG books on my own time. That's the main reason why I haven't worked on the novel that I'm actually getting directly paid for, is because I keep working on side stories, and then I'll go like, why make it a side story when it can just be an RPG and you can play as the main character? And like, I'm constantly doing that. Kirby said, Thanksgiving hasn't happened yet, dang it. And then Kirby said, Christmas. Oh, well, he said Christmas first, and then he said Thanksgiving hasn't happened yet. Let's see. Vanessa Brooks said, do you watch Get Ed? I have not watched Get Ed. You got me. That's one show that I have not seen. Or maybe if I have seen it, I don't remember the name. But then that means I didn't watch it enough, right? One show I always like to talk about, Vanessa Brooks says, you have to, it's tech. So it's all in that technology meme? I'm down. I'm going to type in Get Ed, see what comes up, and see if it, like, jogs my memory. Get Ed. Oh, shit! So, I remember him. I didn't watch him a lot, but I do remember him, like, delivering shit. He's like a delivery boy on a hoverboard and shit. It's almost like Kid Futurama, in a way. Man, his design was cool. He looks like a modern Mega Man kind of design. Japatos Choppy said, yeah, I feel you. I like how one of the images that came up for Get Ed was Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go. What a meme. Also, don't forget to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it. But it looks like I'll be logging off in a couple of minutes. So does anyone have any questions about things that I've talked about on the vlog? Oh, also, just let me talk about things that are coming up soon. Now I only have 1 minute. But things coming up soon. I have to do a Yu-Gi-Oh video at some point. I completely understand that. Also, Makanone is Kusanito Pito. I think I fucked up the last part. Makanone is Kusanito Pito. Welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Thank you for smashing that like button. Truly appreciate it. Kusanito Pito said, you're leaving? And it's like, sadly, yes. I do have to get off due to the fact that my roommate has to sleep. And this is where my roommate sleeps. So I can't be here while he's sleeping. I also must go to sleep. But don't worry, more streams coming soon. Sorry there was the hard wait between, like, the last stream and this stream. I was really busy, and all the stuff I've been busy with is the stuff that I shared with you on the stream. If you happen to miss the stream, don't worry. You can always watch it later because it gets uploaded to YouTube right when it's done. So don't worry. You know, you can always watch it if you happen to tune in late. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like this video. Favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ring that bell so you be notified whenever we do these live streams. Also, don't forget to share this video with a friend so that we can expand the Nickabenson Nation. Thank you all once again, and have a wonderful day. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jeb Black, the one and only, logging out. Have a wonderful night, and thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it.